Chicago, we need to talk. Because right now, behind closed doors, in war rooms in Chicago, Anaheim, and Detroit, phones are ringing off the hook. And two names, two elite, top-of-the-rotation arms, are sitting at the very center of it all. One of them might be the single best pitcher available in all of baseball. The other one? A hidden gem that insiders are calling too perfect for this roster. And both of them are being connected, right now, to your Chicago Cubs. If either of these deals gets done, this franchise does not look the same walking into October. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly who these two players are, what it would cost to get them, and why the clock is ticking faster than you think. Before we go any further, if this is your first time here, welcome. This is a brand new channel built for one reason only: to give Cubs fans the fastest, most honest, no-fluff breakdown of everything happening at Wrigley and beyond. This is our very first video. So if you want to be part of this from day one, hit that subscribe button right now, tap the like button, and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. It genuinely helps this channel more than you know, and it takes 2 seconds. Okay? Let's get into it. So here's where we are. The Chicago Cubs sit at 62 wins and 47 losses. That's good enough for second place in the National League Central, 5.5 games behind a red-hot Milwaukee Brewers team. But here's the part that matters most. The Cubs are currently holding the #1 wildcard spot in the entire National League. If the season ended today, Chicago is in the postseason, and they're hosting a home playoff game at Wrigley. That is a real, tangible opportunity. But everybody in that front office knows the truth. A great regular season means nothing if your pitching staff falls apart in October. And this year, Cubs pitching has been through an absolute war. 30 injured list stints, 26 of them pitchers. Cade Horton, gone for the season. Justin Steele, still working his way back from Tommy John surgery. Ben Brown and Edward Cabrera, both parked on the injured list right now. And just days ago, the front office made a move that told you everything about their mindset. They designated veteran starter Jameson Taillon for assignment. Cut loose. Gone. Manager Craig Counsell didn't sugarcoat it, and veteran leader Ian Happ admitted it flat out to reporters. Deadline moves like this are painful because you care about the people in that clubhouse. But painful or not, the message was sent loud and clear across the entire league. The Chicago Cubs are not here to play it safe. They are hunting. And the deadline, Monday, August 3rd, 5 o'clock Central Time, is closing in fast. So let's talk about target number 1. And I want you to sit with this for a second, because this is not a minor rumor. This is the name that has scouts, executives, and rival fan bases talking. We're talking about a legitimate, top-of-the-league, front-of-the-rotation ace. A pitcher good enough that if he switches uniforms, it instantly becomes the biggest storyline of this entire MLB deadline season. Insiders are calling him the Cubs' quote-unquote blockbuster option. That's Detroit Tigers ace Tarik Skubal. One of the most dominant arms anywhere in baseball, a true #1, a pitcher who could walk into any postseason rotation in the sport and be the best guy on the mound. If Chicago somehow finds a way to pull this off, we are talking about an absolute earthquake in the National League Central. Milwaukee, Atlanta, the Dodgers. Everybody would have to sit up and pay attention. But, and this is important, reports are also suggesting the Cubs front office isn't fully sold on going all in for a rental-style, sky-high cost move like this. Jed Hoyer has made it clear, again and again, that he's not just building for this October. He's building for the next several Octobers. Which brings us to target number 2. And honestly, this is the name that might be even more realistic, even more likely to actually happen, and it's flying a little under the radar compared to the superstar we just talked about. Meet Los Angeles Angels left-hander Reid Detmers. Now stay with me, because the numbers on the surface don't tell the full story. His record sits at 3 wins and 7 losses, with a 4.05 ERA. Not flashy. But dig one layer deeper, and you find one of the most quietly dominant arms in the sport right now. His FIP, the stat that strips away bad luck and bad defense, sits at 3.27. His strikeout rate is 28.3%, among the very best in all of baseball. And over his last 3 starts, heading into the deadline, a 1.65 ERA. That is not a struggling pitcher. That is a pitcher who has been getting hammered by bad breaks and is now heating up at the exact right time. And here's the piece that makes this whole thing so juicy. Detmers is under team control all the way through the 2028 season. This is not a 2-month rental. This is a controllable, 27-year-old, top 10 draft pick caliber left-hander who could slot directly into the middle of Chicago's rotation this season and stay there for years. Multiple insiders are now reporting that Chicago has real, active interest. And it doesn't stop there. Across town, the Chicago White Sox are reportedly chasing the exact same pitcher. That's right, a genuine intra-city bidding war brewing right here in Chicago, both sides trying to outoffer each other for the same left-handed arm. There are even whispers about the trade package taking shape. Names like infield prospect Owen Ayers and shortstop prospect Jefferson Rojas being floated as centerpieces heading back to Anaheim. So think about this for a second. On one side, you've got the sledgehammer swing. Tarik Skubal, a true ace, a franchise-altering blockbuster, the kind of move that changes how this whole season is remembered. On the other side, you've got the smart, sustainable, multi-year power move. Reid Detmers, a controllable difference maker who slides in right now and keeps helping long after this season ends. Two completely different paths, two completely different visions for what this front office wants to become. And right now, both are reportedly live. There's more happening around this roster too. Veteran infielder Dansby Swanson has reportedly been pushing team president Jed Hoyer directly, publicly urging him to be aggressive before the deadline hits. That's a veteran leader putting his name on the line, telling the front office, in essence, we are good enough, give us the pieces. And on top of all that, there's chatter that catcher Carson Kelly, who's had a strong year at the plate, could become a trade chip himself if the Cubs decide to lean on their catching depth to fund a pitching upgrade elsewhere. Now let's talk timing, because this matters more than people realize. Tonight, the New York Yankees roll into Wrigley Field for a 3-game series. And here's the twist. New York is walking in without 3 of their biggest bats. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and Cody Bellinger are all sidelined with injuries. For a Cubs team trying to build momentum right into deadline day, that is about as favorable a scheduling gift as you can ask for. Win this series, close the gap on Milwaukee, and walk into Monday's deadline with real leverage and real confidence. So here's my honest read on this. If I'm the Cubs front office, I am not chasing the flashiest headline just because it sounds good on social media. I'm looking at value, at control, at fit. Reid Detmers checks every single box this front office claims to care about. He's affordable, he's controllable, and his underlying numbers say he's about to get a whole lot better in a Cubs uniform. But if Tarik Skubal somehow becomes available at a price this front office can actually stomach, you don't say no to a true ace. You find a way to make it work. Either way, one thing is certain. This deadline is not going to be quiet for Chicago. The next few days are going to define this entire season, and honestly, they could define the next 3 or 4 seasons of Cubs baseball. So here's what I want from you. Down in the comments, tell me straight. If you could only pick one, are you taking the superstar swing with Tarik Skubal, or are you taking the smart, controllable, long-term power move with Reid Detmers? I read every single comment, especially on this first video, so don't be shy. And remember, this channel is brand new, and it lives and dies on people like you sharing it, liking it, and subscribing. If you found this breakdown valuable, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button before you go, so you don't miss the second this trade becomes official. I'll be right here with the update the moment it drops. Until then, Chicago, stay locked in. Go Cubs go.